All right, welcome everybody. I think we are live, finally. And let's see, make sure that's working. All right, we're looking good. All right. So this is our test stream using a new character and a whole different setup. So we're just making sure that everything's working. Just bear with me for a few minutes while I adjust these levels. All right, I think we're good. All right, so you can see that I'm starting here on my spec. All right, I think my, let me turn that down a little bit. All right, let's get some music going here. All right. So we are here at our spec, chilling. Let's clean up these crops real quick. And let's see. Basically, we're going to be discussing guilds, talking about the new features, everything that's come out with that. Because there are a lot of changes. Hang on, let me adjust. This music's still a little too hot. All right. All right, I'm still trying to adjust these levels because the music's way too loud and my mic is way too soft. So that's what test streams are for. Work out all these kinks. And yeah, that's not gonna. All right, we're not going to worry about the music right now because that is just distracting me. So we'll have to figure that out at another time. I'll just turn the default Pixels music on. How about that? All right. Because I don't know what is going on. Why that is so loud. All right, but at any rate, thanks to everyone who's dropping in, saying hello, saying good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are at. Hope you're having a great day. And yeah, let's get started. So let's go right over to guilds and see exactly what we're talking about. Okay, so you can see here, this is on the dashboard screen, and this is the guilds that you are whitelisted to or that you have requested to purchase shards for. And essentially what that means is that you want to support them, you have an interest in them, maybe you like their project or you're friends with some of their other guild members, and this is your way of supporting them. And it's done through a bonding curve. And basically what that means is for every additional person that wants to join that guild and purchase a shard and wants to support it, they're required to purchase one additional than the current asking price. So, for example, let's say if I wasn't on the watch list and I really wanted to join Farmhands or use Trappers in the Field, for an example, because they're the highest one. Right now, if you want to be a supporter or potentially join their guild, you have to come up with 402 pixels. And we'll click on this screen and it'll show it in greater detail. It lists the name, how they can be found, token ID, short description, and their social. But here's the important thing. So the buy price is 401. So that's to purchase one shard. And there's 400 shards in circulation. So again, that's just to get into, or rather on the, what's the best way to say it? It's basically the way to get on the shard holder list, because they've changed this a couple different times. But that's to purchase a shard. But this is the critical thing, and this is the thing that's most important to remember, is that you do not necessarily get any sort of privilege, access to anything, lands, industries, whatever, if you simply purchase a shard. It's more of like you can almost think of it like a stock price, like a stock of a corporation. If you like Teslas, for example, you might purchase a stock in Tesla. The only difference is the fluctuation price shouldn't be as frequent as it would be with a stock. It won't probably jump up or down. We're going to find out next week when they open up the selling, because as you can see, the selling is currently disabled, because initially when they launched this, they didn't want people speculating, buying up a whole bunch of shards, or essentially monopolizing ownership of a potential guild, and then basically holding it ransom and making other people have to pay a lot of money just to simply join it. So this was enabled to prevent that. But if I understood the space today correctly, it's going to be opened up next week, and then we're going to start to see what really happens with the prices and what I suppose people view as how valuable a shard, or excuse me, a guild may be, and in essence, a shard. So this is TIFF. They are one of the largest, if not the largest, as I understand it, in terms of population, members, and ultimately lands. Because let's be honest, that's what we're here for. It's the lands. They provide everything. They're the source. They are what is important. But if you notice, following it pretty closely is Kagi and the Juice team. And quick shout out to those guys. I am a supporter. Kagi was generous enough to gift me a shard, and I went ahead and purchased one also to show my support. And yeah, they're running real close in second. And yep, you can purchase a shard right there. So it looks like some are actually inactive, because if you notice on TIFF, you cannot. The button is not enabled. So, but yeah, let me give a quick shout out to Juice Team, all the guys over there, really good people. Kagi, obviously CEO of Ronin, we tip our hats to him, and go support those guys over there. Arc 99, Dan is a great guy. Duckler, Dub Club, Edgar TV. fellow content streamers, but high energy. If you wanna be entertained and get rich, that's the spot to go. And you can join more than one guild. There's not any rules against that. Guilds themselves may enact certain things where they decide that they don't want spies or elements like that could ultimately hurt their guild, I guess. But as Luke was saying, as the development team was saying, that they're basically going to leave it up to them. They're just going to kind of let the chips fall where they may. I think my mic is way too hot. Holy cow. Sorry. Let me turn that down. That might be a little bit better. Holy cow, I think the gain was like off the charts. Mic check. Now the mic. Okay, I think we're a little bit better. Holy cow. That was like way too hot. Okay, we'll have to adjust that in the editing booth. All right. But at any rate, let's see. So yeah, you can join more than one guild. I'm watching several, trying to support them. Right now, I think they just opened things up today, which is why I wanted to topic the test stream with the guilds, because I think they opened up everything today. Let's shoot over to the Discord and take a peek and see. If you're not on Discord, you're missing out, because that is where all the alpha information is. That's where you're going to find out what's really going on. And let's go to the minor announcements. So this was from yesterday, from last night, and it says, guilds will open tomorrow. After discussing with guild leaders, we've decided to push the launch to tomorrow. And this is what I was saying. They wanted to update how the whitelist feature works. It'll be included in tomorrow's update. So I think that happened earlier. I was offline for a little bit, so I didn't see. All currently created guilds will get 28 free memberships. If you want to start a new guild, they are lowering the guild cost, or the creation cost, to only 15 pixel. And that will pre-mint 5 memberships. They're going to turn that off, looks like tomorrow or today. Some new anti-bot changes. I saw a couple videos recently where that is troubling, so I'm glad to see. Glad to see that that's going to be the case. Mansoor, KD, hello. Good morning, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping into the test stream. I am testing my levels, volume, all that kind of stuff, microphone, making sure that everything is working. And so far, so good. Nothing's broken. I don't see any smoke or smell any fire. Looks like the Pixel update is going well so far. We're just discussing some of these new changes, mostly on the guild end. But it looks like, everything is going according to plan, as much as we've been informed on it anyway. And I'm not sure. Let's go through a couple of these guilds and see which ones, because I noticed Trappers in the Field you are not able to purchase. But let's look at some of these other ones. Moku, you can't purchase it. So it must be like what Kagi did the other day, where he went through and actually just opened up the whitelist. And that allows everybody the opportunity to purchase, as you can see right here. And he did that I want to say 3 days ago. I think it was on the 16th. And so it started out at, I'm going to say 120. I think I bought the shard at 120 and it already jumped up to 387. So a lot of interest in Juice Team. And you got to attribute it to the land count. That's got to be a big part. Everybody wants to have access to land, and especially with all these new tiers and features coming out. I've seen everything from golden trees to red kilns, all sorts of new vegetables and crops to harvest. And yeah, this should be a lot of fun. I'm really interested to see how this is going to affect the specs also. We went through and I showed a sneak preview of the spec upgrades last week. The most striking thing, obviously, is that they are square or rectangular in shape, and they're no longer circular, which would allow you to utilize it a lot better, square footage, literally, and be able to put more industries on it. You're not going to be limited by the soil. So these are all some really cool things that are happening. But the guilds, I think, are going to set the tone for everything, because it's going to ultimately determine who has access to what lands, what tiers of resources are going to be available. And that's going to be crucial. So let's jump back on our spec. Balds. What's up, buddy? What's up? Good morning, good morning. Fellow Genkai dropping in. Ooh, show that love. Hope everyone's doing well. Wherever you're at, that's the awesome thing about the Ronin community. And there we go. There's some ooze up in the chat. But yeah, we got people from all over the place. I regularly talk to people from the Philippines, from Canada. I'm located in Florida, USA. But it's awesome how many people enjoy this game, this network. I've been primarily focused, and just to give you a little bit of background on me, I've been primarily focused on Pixels. That's kind of how I got drawn into all of this. I'd played Axie a little bit, but when they started running some promotions, that's what actually got me re-involved back into it. I think I think it was the Jiho's quest where you get the net. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I got, most of the things here on the spec, like the Kong Cave, that was the result of a giveaway through my guild, the Good Gaming Society. One of our founders, Santi, gave it to me, and the Genkai that everyone sees right here on screen and what the puppet is modeled after, I was very, very fortunate and won that as a result of a giveaway. Ronin Radio, shout out to Gilla and Ronin Radio, where they held an amazing raffle where you deposited a little bit of Ron and you had the chance to win this CyberKong's Genkai. And the most amazing luck is I only did one entry, literally one Ron, and I won the Genkai. So that's when I decided, you know what, I really need to spend a lot more time and focus on this stuff, because the universe is telling me that I need to be involved with Pixels a little bit more. But no, all of this came just dumb luck. But yeah, I've played Axie a little bit. Love all the games, on the Ronin network. I wish I had more time to play all of them, because oh my god, Apron looks amazing. That looks really interesting. I've actually really kind of fallen back in love with Axie Infinity. Just learning all the different parts and just coming up with new strategies. And I have to admit, I somewhat glossed over it and didn't realize how fun the game was. So, oh, thank you, Balds. Yeah, that was, man, that really just caught me out of the blue. I was, the funny thing is, I had been doing all of these, like most people on X, you try to win an NFT here or just this or that. And I had been entering into literally everything. I had been retweeting this, following that, posting this, tagging that, and just trying to do anything I could. And I'd almost given up. I was just like, you know what? The universe is just not favoring me right now, and that's fine. That's cool. Maybe I'll take a step back, and then all of a sudden, I woke up one morning and there was like 30 notifications congratulating me, and so yeah. Again, big shout out to Ronin Radio, Gila, great crew over there. The generosity of this community is just amazing. I mean, the CyberConks community has been very loving and inviting and welcoming, and just been having a ton of fun meeting with everybody. And again, just from all over the world. I love how this breaks down all barriers, language barriers, economic barriers, whatever you want to say. And people just have a good time. So, all right, enough with the Kumbaya stuff. Let's get back into the game here. And let's see. Oh my God, we are loaded here. So let's drop some stuff off. And let's see. I know it looks like I have a lot, but most of these storage boxes are actually empty. I regret, if you look up here in my coin area, I have a pretty good amount of coin, and for some reason, I think what happened is we did all that play to earn stuff, and I just had so much stuff. I had wood, I had you name it, and I just had, everything was overflowing. And I kind of went on a barn burner and just started selling everything just to get some coin. Thinking that, if I have a lot of coin, that I can buy some stuff and turn it into Pixel. I kind of regret it because I can see how scarce everything is becoming. If that wasn't evident with the trees over the last month or two, I don't know what to tell you, but with everything becoming so scarce and becoming more difficult to locate, and skill is going to play into a big part of this, not just the land you own or have access to, but the skills that you've developed over this period of time, chapter 1 and into chapter 2. It's it's really opened my eyes. Like, wow, I better just hang on to every single thing. And now I basically don't sell anything unless I have to, and I only do that generally if it's a no-brainer. I'll sell some grain bro. I'll sell 3 grain bros for the 1,000 coins. That's like a sweet deal. But I'm sticking to the name. You can call me Hodlum. That's why they call me that. But all right, let's see here. I'm getting all. I thought I had got some fertilizer sitting on the. I think fertilizer is going to be. I think that's if you guys want some quick alpha. I think fertilizer is going to be huge. When we start going to this soil system, where only one person can farm it at a time, man, that is going to be. If you thought trees were competitive, and people were getting, somewhat nasty about that, wait till some farmer comes to his farm and he's not able to even put down pot berries or something like that because he forgot to turn the permissions off. This is going to be actually kind of funny to watch how all this goes down. I think I definitely count myself in the category, just take for granted all the free time that you could just wander around and get whatever you wanted. And those days are long gone. Those are long gone. All right, I'm trying to decide what I want to, because I want to take some water mint with me to the shop. I don't know about everyone else, but here on East Coast Standard Time, the shop resets, I want to say at 7 p.m., so in about 25 minutes or so. I usually try to mosey over there and see what new deals Hazel has available for me. She's been rough lately, though. I think I need to be like some of the other people on X I see them. I don't know if they're buying her Starbucks or slipping her some donuts or something, some Krispy Kremes, but They seem to be getting some excellent pixel deals. We got to figure out what's up with that. So we got enough Grumpkins. I think we'll just go ahead and plant some Grumpkins here. Not my favorite. Alright. Dip our head in the sauna. I'm not sure if I have energy to grab or not. No, I can't. I have to come back in 2 hours for that. And 20 minutes for that. Yeah, I was a little bit off. I haven't been using my Tribly timers like I should. If you guys haven't been checking those out, let me put them on screen real quick. I'll show you. All right. So if you don't have a Tribly account, go set one up. You will thank me later. And they are minting their own token also. So make sure you get in on that because that's going to be huge. And I think just play pixels. Someone closed off their land where I've planted watermelon. Oh no, no, no. See, I think this is going to happen more and more. You know what? That just happened to me, Mansoor. I have like 4 bookmark lands, and I've been going there forever, just on rotation, just no brainer. And I had some, I think it was Grainbow also planted, and I wasn't even thinking. I ran like right into the fence, like face first into the fence because I was so used to just walking freely onto their land, and then I got blocked off. So yeah, that's going to happen more and more. And I don't know if the crops are simply going to die and then you lose them and can't even get the seeds. Does the farm owner ultimately get those crops? I mean, we're only talking probably like 60 crops, so it's not a big amount. But the thing that I'm more interested in is if someone closes off their land and you're unable to retrieve an industry item like a drill, silk slugs, some queen bees, something like that. That could be a problem because I'll show you here in a second. Because for someone like me, I have a lot of industries spread all over the place. Oh yeah, thank you, Mansoor. Thank you. That Kong UGC it's amazing. I want to say Santee himself made it because he had so many of them, but I'm not sure if he made it himself, like if he's a pixel artist. But he was the one who I believe released it. And there might be a couple still left on the marketplace, but I'm not sure. Last time I saw, they were going for a pretty penny. I think like 350,000 coin or something like that. So I'm hanging on to mine. I like it because I really want to showcase it in the new spec. So again, if you're not on Tribly, go check them out. During this test stream right now, I didn't get everything put together that I wanted to. I have some lower thirds and some cool stuff. I guess I could show one real quick. I have some lower thirds put together for like socials. I have a Tribly one. Yeah. I have a Tribly one that I'm making, but I didn't get the icon and everything put together. But yeah, follow me there on X and make sure you're following me on Tribly also because they have some really amazing tools. I mean, I don't know how I would have done the play to airdrop honestly without these tools. And shout out to Amy over at Tribly who does the developing and designing of these. Shout out to Rare Axes. Great people over there. Very, very supportive team. very professional, and just you can tell how passionate they are about helping gamers, and that's why I like to help them out and give them some love. So be sure to check Tribally out. But down to the tools, you go over to the tools and you can filter by the games. Aperon, they just came up with a skill tree that was really neat. I wish I had more time to play Aperon because what a cool game. Go over to pixels and then timer tracker. And I have 110. Shows what a psycho I am. And these represent all the different industries that I have spread out all over different lands. So Mansour, I can definitely appreciate, getting locked out of something. If I got locked out of, anything with especially multiple industries on it, given the market prices, you could be looking at a few thousand coin. And if you have 110 timers like maniacs like me, well, you can start to compound the math on that. But yeah, I try to get around to these. I had it set up. I had a pretty nice system set up where I would start at 225 with 1,000 energy, and by the time I got to right around here in the 4,100 farm area, I'd start to be running on fumes and gas, but I could usually manage to hit everything, and it's a pretty sweet haul when you can hit all these industries. And the thing to remember is that when I was doing this during the play to airdrop, I did not have a pet, so every time I would switch a screen, simply even going to the sauna outside to Terra Villa, I'm losing half an energy point. So that really added up. So when the opportunity came for me to get a pet, well, had to jump on that. And we got Flumetooth here, or Flumtooth. And I made him into I tried to be, I'm not sure if I regret this. I'm still on the fence whether or not I made a good decision or not. I tried to get the best of both worlds, wherein he was going to be pretty fast and yet have a decent amount of strength, and wasn't so much concerned about the luck because we aren't aware of how that plays into the game yet, or how that factors into the game. It's sounding like that might have something to do with the dungeons, but that's speculation on my part. But I was able to give him enough strength to where it gave me at least 5 slots. And that's satisfactory to me because I don't know if it's because I don't think about it but I don't generally load him up with a lot of stuff anyway. And the thing is also, if you're not paying attention and you let him get hungry, you won't have access to those items. It gets grayed out. And you have to feed him again and get his happiness level back up before you have access. And I've seen a few people who have put their pet treats in the storage area on their pet and not be able to feed their pet. So I suspect they had to go run and barbecue up a pet treat or run over to the bazaar and get something. But you adapt. You figure out ways to get things done. A nice looking Genkai there. I like those hats. Who's that? Murphjestic. Yeah. Ooh. Sweet looking. Yeah, I feel so blessed to win. I mean, that really, that was like, I literally, like I said, I live here in Florida, so I went down to the beach and was like sitting there on the ocean, and I was like, you know what? If I'm getting these kinds of signs, maybe I need to pay attention. And that's when I just decided to, honestly, I made a joke about it because Ronin was up at the time. It was breaking all sorts of records. It was like over $4 and well on its way to $5, and Pixels was smashing some sort of record in terms of highest value. And I tweeted out something to the effect of, I'm going to quit my job. I was mostly joking, but there was, just like any joke, there's a pretty good amount of truth to it. And what I was saying, what I essentially meant was, I actually did quit my job. I didn't do it in the way that I made like a meme about it and was fucking around, but no, I decided to commit myself to making full time Pixels content and Ronin content and overall generally Web3 gaming content. Just because I see this as like this is just so huge, and I realize there's a bull market and there's a lot to say about ups and downs, but you really can't deny the numbers. You can't look at all these daily active users. You can't look at the new wallet generations and not just be amazed at what has happened here and the trajectory that all this is on. It's just really exciting. This music kills me. Yeah, we should probably travel over there and chop up some heads. Let's go to the bazaar, see what tasks we've got. I've been kind of messing around talking to everybody. Oh, that music was kind of loud too. Let's go see what Hazel's got for us. Anything interesting? I've been kind of messing around the last couple days, not hitting the task board as hard as I should. Holy cow, look at all those people. Yeah, that's my go-to right there. That 3 rainbow 1,000 coin deal. No pixel orders. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. We'll do that one. These other ones, I'm kind of, I don't know. Let's get into the other side of Pixels here, where we're looking at the economics of it. This is always fun too. If you guys are economic nerds like I am, let's go to Pixels tips. All right. Let me see if I can find some. All right, so we're just looking at ironite bars. I can't listen to that music. It is way too loud for some reason. I think I need to split off the headphone channel or audio channel. Well, at any rate, let's get back to it. So, if you're not familiar with Pixels tips, I'll put a link real quick in the chat. This is a tremendous site. I use this like several times a day. I always have the window open just because of how frequently I use it. And so 10 ironite bars, only 150 coins, 15 coins per bar. So I can already tell you that's not going to be a good deal, because each ironite bar right now is going for 200 each. So some of these, I guess it's like a matter of preference. I mean, if you have a ton of ironite bars, yeah, go ahead and 10 of them is not going to be a big deal to you. But if you're trying to sell each one and max your coins, obviously this would be a poor choice. So I think there's no hard rule to it. It's really just your circumstance and what you want to do. 10 Grumpkins, for example, I know is worth a heck of a lot more than 40 each. We merely just look at the market for that, and you can see 188 each. Now, I will say Pixel Tips is fairly accurate, but I wouldn't use it completely, or I wouldn't. It's not the ultimate word. Sometimes there's delays. There are errors. You know, any API or website is going to have some certain errors. That's just to be expected. No shade on Pixel Tips or any of the developers over there, because this is it's an indispensable website. I really can't recommend it enough. They do great stuff over there, and you can join their Discord. They have links to that. But if you really want to know, the best way is probably to head over to the sales counter itself and just see. So, for example, what did the website say? 185. Let's see how accurate that is. I'm guessing it's probably pretty accurate. 180. So if you had put it up for 185, you wouldn't have sold it immediately, because someone, probably between the time that Pixel Tips refreshed or the API updated, someone slid their sale order in, and they're going to lose some coins on that. Maybe someone in the chat can maybe explain that to me, that strategy, because I really don't understand that. I don't know if maybe that's just them not paying attention, but why wouldn't someone want to come in with their 30 Grumpkins at 186 or 185? I'm not quite sure about that. I think it's maybe just an error, or an oversight. Do I have a suggestion for a line of islands with beehives? You know, I might have something for you there, actually. If you're looking for farms with beehives, I mean, you're welcome to reference my timers here. I do have what I tried to do was make runs. So I tried to set up systems like 1455 through 1463 is a really good example. That way you just start at one farm and you just walk from one to the other. This really helped when I didn't have a pet and was losing energy between each screen transition. But as far as ones with beehives, well, another thing you can do, if you're not sure, like I said, you can use these as a loose reference, but the best way, I would say, let me pull it up for you, is actually look at the Web3 triads. I'll post the link for that also. Okay, here we go. I'll post this in the chat too. There you go. And what you can do, you can actually just search for whatever industry that you're seeking. So you had mentioned apiary. Let's find ones with 4. So you go down to apiary 4. And this works for all of them. Mining, everything. Hit apply, and it'll actually bring up the ones with 4 apiaries. And you can confirm it by looking right here in the description. And it just says 4 apiaries. So all of these, 1629, apparently, oh yeah, these two, 2072 and 2074, those are both going to contain large amounts of apiaries. Looks like total of 8 between just those two. So that would be where I would start. Another one over here, 2780, 2781, also multiple apiaries on each one. So that's a really good way of doing it. If you want to focus on one industry and you're not sure where to start, just type it into the drop down up here and It should be getting you off and running. But yeah, I use that all the time for mines. It's really good for grills. The other one that I've found, if you have the materials, is the kilns. Those are really useful too, because you can get all of like your bricks knocked out. You can get all your ironite bars done just in one fell swoop instead of trying to go to one kiln on one farm or wait and trying to do a piecemeal at the Terravilla kiln. That can take a while. But fortunately, the Terravilla stuff is never occupied. So yeah, definitely check out the land feature, the land search feature. That's another one that I use all the time. So you guys are getting some great secrets if you're tuning into the test stream here. And thank you for everyone who's come in to stop in and say hello and interact with me. We're trying to figure out like what's going to be the best time. I'm trying to talk to some of the followers on Twitter and some people that just direct message me on Discord and everything to find out like what would be the best time for them to come in and hang out on a stream. I'm pretty flexible. It doesn't really make a difference to me if I do it in the morning or evening. I suppose I don't know. Maybe the evening would be better for me because just more relaxed but might have more energy in the morning. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. I'll feel everyone out. Maybe I'll do a poll or something like that, and you guys can tell me. But yeah, pixel tips and Web3 triads. Make sure you bookmark those. Those are two big ones. All right, so back to the game. Yeah, if you want to check the prices of stuff, if I'm selling a large amount of something, I would say anything more than 50 or 100 of something, I always check the buy price before I go check the sell price. That's just how I choose to do it, but everyone's different. And everyone has their own strategies. Some people are solely trying to make pixel. They're in it just to bang out pixel. Some people really want to build. They build out their farms, build out their industries, try to level up. So there's really something for everybody. That's why I think a lot of people are drawn to this game. Just it looks very simple on its face when you just are walking around and it's a 8-bit pixels game, but it's pretty deep, especially when you consider the Web3 ownership elements, the NFT ownership elements, and all of that. I think that's what really got me into Web3 gaming ultimately, was the ability to actually own something. I've played video games. I mentioned this on Twitter. I've played video games since probably most people were before they were born. I literally was playing Atari 2600 when I was 5 years old, but played Nintendo, played Genesis. I had all that stuff. I'm a geezer. But what got me into it was being able to actually own stuff. I mean, I remember playing World of Warcraft back in the day and thinking, man, it would really be cool to be able to actually own this sword. Not like a 3D or like a physical representation of it. I didn't want to have a 10-foot glowing sword hanging off my wall, but just to be actually own something and be able to give it to somebody else. That was kind of I think that's where a lot of this came out of for people, is like, that was either they played RuneScape or they played fill in the blank, where it had some sort of item. They really had an attachment to it, and then ultimately weren't able to do anything with it once the game went on to a second series, or even if the level changed, you might lose it. But I think that's what got a lot of people into the idea of item ownership, and then Web3 and NFTs and smart contracts. That just took it to a whole new level. And that's where we find ourselves today, running around with pets and all sorts of stuff. Oh, my pleasure, Mansoor. My pleasure. I'm not the most knowledgeable person in this game. I don't ever hope that I come across that way. But I have spent a lot of time playing it. I'm very passionate about it. I follow all of the people who support it and who create it. I make a lot of memes and fun stuff about it. So if you follow me on X, you probably have seen a few of those. Oh my god, what happened over here? Oh my god. Oh, this is shameful. Nobody look. Nobody look. I'm supposed to be an expert. I was saying about being experienced. No one. I would stake any amount of pixel on this. I think I can say with certainty no one has killed more Grumpkins than I have. I'm well into the 6 digits at this point. I should make a like a Grim Reaper statue holding a Grumpkin. That should be my UGC. But yeah, Jiho's over here. Shout out to Jiho's. That's actually kind of what got me back into Axie Infinity, because they had this quest where you got his net, and it kind of gave you a preview that there would be some fishing elements coming up. And if you wanted the NFT avatar, you had to have an Axie. I think you had to just own at least one Axie. And I ran over to my inventory on the marketplace, on Mavis Marketplace, and I realized I had sold all of them. I didn't have a single Axie, so I went and bought 3 just to get the NFT, and wouldn't you know it, the next thing I know, I'm giving some blessings to Adia and buying a couple more Axies, buying a couple more runes, some charms, and it sucked me right back in. So I've been playing that when I'm not playing Pixels very much, kind of in the off time, you might say, when I'm just kind of messing around. But yeah, it's funny how these games all kind of link together and have a relationship, and I think that's why the Ronin network is so strong. I understand why Luke and Heidi and their team ultimately decided to come over. Not throwing shade on other chains or anything like that. It's like anything else. Everyone has their preference. You know, some people like pickup trucks, some people like sports cars. It's just whatever you like. Wherever you find you're comfortable or you find a fit, that's what's more important. And I definitely have found a home here on Ronin, and very happy, very happy. A lot of fun people. Everyone seems to have a really good sense of humor and just a good spirit about them. Yeah, there's competition. You know, people want to do their best and be the best, but I don't see people like really like sabotaging or there's not a you don't see a lot of maliciousness in Pixels. I'll just put it that way. Only when you're trying to get somebody else's tree. That's about the worst time you're gonna see some negativity. So if you slip into one of those Mocha characters and slide through somebody's fence or bushes to chop down a tree, then you're probably gonna get some bad karma. But even then, hey, it's still. Although the prices of trees, I can understand. We're heading into like Grand Theft territory at that point. But it's too funny. One of my favorite memes I made about that. I'll put it up. What do I do with it? Like I said, I make a lot of memes. Here we go. That pretty much sums it up. Everybody was all lovey-dovey. Hey, friend, want some free wine? And now, get out of here. But hey, that's the way it goes. All the more reason for you to have your own farm and your own land. which I am trying to do. I am without land currently. I, like so many of you, wish I would have bought when it was zero point 0.2 ETH. I think I even saw it was like 0.17 ETH. That's, hurts my brain to even think about it. But yeah, land is, it's just out of reach. Just out of reach. I think if I sold all my Pixel, liquidated all my assets, I probably would have enough to do it, but I don't want to do that. I want to hang on to the Pixel. I'd rather earn more Pixel. At this point, I'd rather go take out a new credit card or something than give up my Pixel. That stuff's going to be worth way more than the US dollar. Just my opinion, not financial advice. If you're taking financial advice from an animated monkey wearing a bandana, I don't know what to tell you. That's going to be on you. Although some of the wealthiest people I know are actually gorillas. So take that for what you will. Oh, I knew I was going to do that. And you may be saying, Hodlum, why on earth are you in the corn maze collecting useless raffle tickets, especially when you already have a pet? Well, number one, they're not useless. They will be useful at some point again in the future. That's pretty much been said, and I don't know if it's been confirmed, but there's been enough speculation and Luke talking about it directly that I think we can probably count on these opening up at some point. Otherwise, why would they keep them here? And they may not be to where it's just pets that are won, because if you noticed, or if you were around when the carnival event happened the first time, you could win an apiary, you could win a wine press, in addition to the Dino Genesis pets, which I really, really wanted one of those. Oh man, do I have they have a little bit better stats than the doggos, and they are valued more, but I don't know. I've seen people selling them, so take that for what you want. Let's see. I'm going to pop into Discord real quick because I want to see what people are discussing about. I kind of want to get a feel for what people are saying about the guilds. Guilds are completely rugged right now. So okay, so I think there might be some sort of update occurring. And this is not uncommon to where an update occurs and there's a little bit of a delay or between you can experience it or it's actually implemented, but that's no big deal. But definitely check out Pixel's Discord if you're not familiar with that. A lot of times, people from the development team, even Luke and Heidi themselves, will be in the chat. I've discussed things with them many times. So that's another great thing about this game and the team themselves is how available they make themselves, how transparent everything is. They constantly talk about building in public, and I can't think of many places that do that. I've done graphic design and web development professionally And that is a completely different world than game development. I don't mean to say that they're similar or imply that they're alike. But it's unusual for teams to build out in public, generally speaking. And I was really interested by that, gotta say. I think a lot of teams, and maybe this is just my own, again, experience, a lot of places, there's a lot of ego and people are concerned with how they're perceived. And they don't want to be known as the ones to fail. But the lack of ego and the humility, I think, is one of the best things that I've seen about this game, or the people who make it. Rest in peace to the Grumpkins. Yes, yes. If you subscribe and you if you subscribe and hang around, you're going to see that's a pretty common theme around here. Even though I have the ability, because you can put um, like on this one, I sometimes will do it. You can add Grumpkin timers on, but I usually forget to hit them, or I'm in a rush or something like that. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of dead Grumpkins around here. A lot of hands in the head type of thing. I always try to sympathize with people when I see them posting their dead Grumpkins on Twitter. It's like, yeah, I've been there. Oh, look, Chicken Pet. If you don't know who Chicken Pet is, they are, I'm pretty sure, the top player in Pixels, at least top 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, look at that. Joined in 2022. Been playing forever. Always in the top. Check out his Pixel Chickens NFT. Got a couple of those. Oh, they're not showing up. Normally you can see them right here. I got a couple farmhands. Oh, there's one. A couple farmhands and some chicken pets. I was very impressed with how quickly they were able to get that avatar implemented into the game. A couple new avatars I'm seeing on the horizon. Not sure if they're 100% that they're going to be put into the game yet. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Some pigs and some other offerings are coming up. But yeah, they have a ton. This has grown since I first started. There's the Pixel Chickens I was talking about. The Kydro journal robot. If you got in on the early mint over there at Kydro, that looks really cool too. That's one of those things also. I was talking about not having enough time to play all these games. I really want to check that out. The artwork on that looks amazing. It reminds me of how much I'm not an artist when I look at that kind of stuff. I may be a graphic designer. I'm not an artist. I think there's a difference. Let's go. You know what? Let's go see if that super quest has started. Shout out to player W3. If you're not, in fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and put. I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. I don't have his link. Well, check out player W3's YouTube channel. I don't have his link handy, otherwise I'd post it. Here, I'll go here. All right. Player W3 is the man. All right. He's like, everyone loves him. Everyone references him. If you're not familiar with his tutorials in his channel, you gotta go check him out. The way he explains things, magnificent. Here, I'll post the link right there for you. But big shout out. He actually, some of the first tutorials I watched in Pixels were his. So I would definitely say he was huge in getting me started. But just a really nice guy, very friendly. I've been to his farm, talked to him directly. Really nice person. If you see him around, tell him what's up. Give him a good morning. Good people. All right. But he's supposed to have a super quest with YGG, with Gabby and YGG. Was that it? Because I clicked that before and it. Yeah, that's just to join their wait list. So if you click on this, I'll do it real quick so you can see. That's kind of strange. Well, this is what it pulled up before. Okay. That link must be broken on their end. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But you can come over here to the yieldguild.io website, go over to the quest section under Pixels, and get added to this list. And you'll have to connect your account and everything. And it's just an opportunity for you to win an achievement and get some Pixels reputation points. But it, as I understand it, when it's unlocked soon, I'm not sure when that exactly is supposed to happen, but whenever that does occur, it'll go through and walk you through the steps of what's a guild, why should you join one, and then if you ultimately want to create one yourself. This is just like a step-by-step process on how to do that. So that might be useful to those who are looking to team up with others. Let's see if they've updated anything inside. Yeah, so I think when these go live, you'll be able to click on them and it'll take you over to whatever link. But yeah, it should be a really interesting new dynamic to the game. I think some people are going to love it. I think some people are going to hate it, as are with virtually any change in a game. I'm just going to wander around. Sometimes there's some Kongium hanging around. I haven't seen any the last couple days. In fact, I think I bought up a whole bunch because I didn't think that there was going to be any available. Let's go burn some energy. I think I have some crops waiting for me. We'll go wander around, maybe say hello to some people. That's the fun thing about this game. You can just wander around, do whatever you feel like doing. It is I guess it is an MMO in that sense, that it's massively multiplayer, it's online. It's not well, you could even call it like an RPG, like a World of Warcraft or something. I guess it does fit all of those technical criteria. But I like games where they're open and you can do whatever you want. Now let's do some iron. In fact, I think 4081 is player W3's land. Yep. So if you want to bookmark that one, 4081. I don't know if he's going to keep everything open. I'm not sure if anyone has announced that, what they're doing. I'm not sure if even people would announce it. Like, some people have ran into issues, like we discussed earlier, where you go to retrieve your items or harvest and you're locked out. I don't know why I teleported back to Terravilla. Habit. Uh-oh. Left a job unfinished. But you can see right there, I got pretty good reach. I know that before I had the pet, I was constantly having to run around, and it makes a big difference between the not losing energy and the reach storage. Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. I noticed a lot of people were complaining when the pet price dropped. I think they were speculating, hoping that it would be a good investment or they could get a good return on it. And I can understand their frustration because it did drop significantly in price. But I think they're going to find, if they're a little bit patient, when these other systems come online, the dungeons and some of the PvP stuff, especially with pets, I think that price is gonna shoot back up. You see that with almost anything. Anytime there's a new iteration or a new utility or use case for it, the demand goes up and the price follows. Again, not financial advice. Whoa. Kydro taking over. Not enough space in... Oh, I bet... you know what that was? I bet that was a ticket. Let's... Yep, it was. Well, wait a minute. If it was a ticket, it should have gone right there. So it must have been a salt block. Yep, I bet it was. So let's have him carry. Yep, salt block. That's why it's important to have at least 1 or 2 slots free. Pink Barney. How appropriate. I'm lucky those didn't die. I don't think I've been here for a little while. All right, farming level 29. Let's go. That's another thing you can do on Pixel tips. You can look up your skill level. I'm not showing off here. I'm just showing you how to do it. But yeah, not gonna lie, I got some skills. 207. Yeah, that's decent. That's respectable. Oh man, we got. Oh, that's just what we got. Okay. Oh my god, you know what we need to do? You know what we need to go do right this second? We need to go play some new Cyber. Because I think I have a bunch of stuff over there just waiting. And it always slips my mind. Oh my god, I'm the worst about that. I love arcade games too. That's the funny thing. Yeah, let's go see what's up with that, because with that plot stuff coming out, and if you're not following Zombina over on Twitter or X, go check her out. She is always talking about new Cyber and plots. A whole bunch of people. Yep, be sure to follow Zombina. In fact, oh, this is Amy that I was talking about over at Sky Mavis. Oh, why did I think she was at Tribally? She was at Sky Mavis. My bad. My mistake. For some reason, I thought she was over at Tribally. Maybe she is. You can have obviously more than one job. Oh, this was just released. Let's read this very carefully. Shards now purchasable for all guilds. So here's the too long didn't read. All guilds can now activate and begin whitelisting. Existing guilds will receive 28 shards to distribute. Creating new guilds costs 15 pixel, and they'll be rewarded 5 shards or 5 memberships upon activation. Creating new guilds requires a reputation score of 1950, and the withdrawal restrictions are 600 reputation points. Okay. So as I said, it's a way of supporting the guild, a shard. So it really is up to the guild to activate and begin whitelisting whatever users that or supporters that they want. The whitelist is not mandatory, but they recommend keeping it enabled. Oh, this is interesting. They made an update to the feature. If a user already owns a shard but is removed from the whitelist, they will not be able to purchase any additional shards. So if you're on a shard and for whatever reason the guild decides to remove you from the whitelist, you won't be able to buy any more shards, at least from that guild. That's very interesting. Other good things to know: farmland associations. Landowners can associate their NFT farmland to a guild. This information is visible on the guild's dashboard page. How to choose your guild. To choose the right guild for you, first explore their associated lands. Makes sense. Why would you just join a guild without exploring it? Immerse yourself in the community, join the Discord, engage in conversations, discover which community and culture align with your goals and or preferences. I think that's critical. I think that's a critical part of that statement. With community and culture align with your, and that's not just to say like, do you all like the same kind of food? That's to say, what are your ethics? Like what are your business morals? What are your ethics or your culture treating new people? I mean, everyone's going to have to find what is right for them. Each guild will have its own governance structure. So it's important to find one that fits for you. So if you don't like a tyrannical type of guild, then you want to stay away from something like that, or one that has a bunch of silly rules or something, or one that doesn't have any rules. Maybe you don't want to join a guild that is unprofessional, or they don't have their crap together. I could see that. Or promises you a bunch of stuff and then doesn't deliver. I think that's going to be something to watch out for a lot of people. What's coming next? Roles. By purchasing a guild shard, you automatically become a supporter of the guild. To transition from a supporter to an official member, you must be assigned to a higher level role. For example, a farmer or manager within the guild. This functionality will be introduced in a future update. So we're not seeing that just yet. That's coming up. Also, in the upcoming release, you'll see selling, and that's going to be the ability for shard holders to sell back their shards at the bonding curve price. And I took it to mean that bonding curve price is never going to go down, but I'm not clear on that. Don't hold me to that. But that's how I understand it at this point. And overall, the Chapter 2, this update is set to be our largest gameplay update to date. Expect spec upgrades. Say that 3 times fast. The introduction of new resource tiers. So that's what we were talking about. And you can see right there. Look at that. Golden tree. Golden mine. So I'm guessing that you're going to have a golden drill or some sort of updated or higher tier drill to even utilize that mine whatsoever. So we're getting a glimpse here of what these tiers are looking like. The guilds will play a major role in the managing of resources in this new style of gameplay. And then they have some ways to raise up your reputation score if you're concerned about being able to trade or have access to some of these items. So that is really interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I can't wait for these spec upgrades. That's probably the thing that I am waiting for the most, because just speaking personally, and going back kind of that sense of possession, I remember how I felt months and months and months ago when I bought the spec, because I wanted to buy a farmland so much, but even back then it was somewhat out of my price range. And the feeling of having your own little spec, it's like I don't know, it's like having your own little piece of earth or piece of land. It's like your own little thing, and you can design it however you like. It's your space. Now, that's not to say that people can't come to your spec, because they can, and they can use your industry too if you weren't aware of that. In fact, I had one day, I went to my spec, and there's some guy sitting there. This is before I understood how you could go through the plots and the portal and everything else to find other specs, and to visit other people's personal specs. And I was like, what the hell is this guy doing here? He didn't say anything. He just sat there, and I don't think he was using an industry or anything. I don't know if he was lost. But I remember thinking how strange it was that someone was on my private spec. But yeah, with these updates, it should be really cool, because you're going to have, I mean, well, I'll show the video real quick. If you guys didn't see it last week, last week I went and recorded the screenshot in the video of what the new specs and everything are going to look like. No, I can't find it. Oh, there it is. No, that's not. Here it is. Here we go. So you can see right there, just in that quick preview, they're much larger. I think this was one of the smaller ones, and it's significantly larger and square or rectangular. This was a preview of the inside of homes that'll be on specs, because that'll be a thing. And look how much bigger that one is. So I really want to upgrade my spec and make it gigantic like that, because that's now we're getting into the size of, that's like almost a small farm. And if I understand everything correctly, you can put soil on everything. So if you have the energy, I mean, you could really max out the productivity of a spec. And I don't know if that's going to cause NFT farm prices to drop. I doubt it, because of the necessity to get the higher tier resources from there, from the NFT lands. But it's going to be really interesting to see how specs kind of, especially the upgraded ones, fill that gap. They close the gap between, a little spec where you can only have 4 soil plots and 1 small industry and not really be able to be that productive or profitable. But if you can start to chunk these things up with a bunch of soil and start pumping out some crops and stuff, who knows? You might even see like a bunch of spec owners banding together and guilding together, and becoming, I suppose, if you had enough spec lands, you could become equally, or you could be competitive with those who have the NFT lands, potentially. Now we're going to see I think the factor that will really determine the viability of what I'm saying is how in demand and how much further away, or how much harder it will be to obtain these higher tier resources. I mean, if you have things that are on the highest tier, level 6 or whatever, and they are like nearly impossible to find, it may not matter how many pot berries you can pump out of your upgraded spec. It may not matter how many of your combined efforts of butterberries that you produce, which would be a lower tier item, to compete with these higher tier ones. So it remains to be seen. But I am very bullish and very optimistic about what these specs can do. I think it'll actually bring a lot more people into the game too, ultimately, because they're not going to see it as such a barrier to entry. Like, oh, I have to come up with $5,000 if I want to actually compete in this game. I think that'll somewhat go away. But again, speculation. Who can possibly say? But yeah, I think we'll probably start to wind things down from there. I wanted to get a good bit of time in, allow people to know that the stream is here and that we're up and running. As far as how frequently and the schedule, or how frequently I'll be streaming and what the schedule will look like, that's to be determined. I'll iron out those details most of this week. I'm going to try to stream. Ideally, I would stream every day. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I'm going to try to do that, to stream every day for 1 or 2 hours at least. And, or at least 2 hours. I mean, at least 2 hours. That's no big, I mean, an hour and a half has already gone by in a blink of an eye here. So once we start rolling, 2 hours will be no big deal. So we'll count on at least 2 hours. I'm going to try to do it every day. Whether or not it's going to be in the morning or evening, I'm going to just kind of feel everybody out and see what works with their schedules, who some of the people I collaborate with, and some of the other content creators and stuff like that. Because what I also don't want to be doing is streaming while my friends are streaming. So I don't want to be taking away from their audience or anything like that, or stepping on their toes. So we'll just kind of pro that and work all that out. But I'm feeling very optimistic about everything. Everyone's been very encouraging and welcoming, and that's been awesome. So that's more likely to make me want to do this more often. But yeah, I want to thank everyone who stopped in. Didn't really have I would say we had enough people stop in to do a giveaway or anything like that, so I hope I didn't get anybody's hopes up. But definitely tune in, because I'm very generous. People have been very giving and generous to me, and I like to pay that forward and give that on to other people if possible. and just kind of stay on the good side of karma if I can. And so if you didn't, if you were expecting, a giveaway tonight, I'm sorry for any disappointment, but I think we'll probably skip it just because I'm getting a little tired and I want to wrap this up. But be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, friend me on Tribally. I will be consistently uploading videos and making more content. I've committed to doing that, and this is what I'm going to be spending a lot more time doing full time. So with that, I want to thank everyone again for stopping in. Mansoor, Balds, everyone else who came in and gave a good morning and a good evening. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Blessings, to my fellow Genkai. I see you out there. We're definitely taking over. But with that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening and morning, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys.